I think I've got about 3 minutes left. I'll take those three and try to highlight some recurring themes and maybe some missing ones. So the recurring ones, the importance of partnership, collaboration, the importance of capacity building for various functions in various contexts, the importance of statistical systems and early warning systems, the importance of communities at the grassroots. They're the ones having to integrate all of this stuff that we're talking about across ministries and across agencies. And interestingly, I thought more government, not less. I think that was very interesting. The things that I thought were missing or didn't come up as much as I thought they would be resilience as a form of transformation, transformative power. Infrastructure was mentioned once, and I thought that would have come up a bit more, because it seems to me that's potentially a really important investment for promoting resilience. Gender came up in a couple of the groups, but not as many as I thought it would. Conflict came up, and together with the social contract, came up in the Arab world presentation, but it didn't come up very often, at least in the report backs, and I thought that was interesting. I thought regional trade would have come up more. It came up in the South Asia group, but not in others. And I really like, of course, the Ministry of Follow-up. That was definitely missing. So thank you. So let me just take 1 minute to just remind us why we think about resilience, because I think one of the things that kept coming up in the group I was in and in other meetings I've been in is what's the value added of resilience. So just to remind ourselves why we care about resilience, we care about it because we think the world is becoming more uncertain. We think that shocks are increasing in frequency and increasing in impact, and we think risks are exacerbating and new ones are coming along all the time. I think that's why we care about it. We want to build resilience up to deal with that, all of that. I think the panelists have told us that it's possible. Building resilience is possible. And I think if you dig deep into those sessions, you'll see that there are lots of really good examples of how to do that. At the absorption, about adaptation, less perhaps about transformation, transformative resilience. My final point, what's the value added of resilience? So I can only give a personal perspective on that. And for me, I'm not the biggest cheerleader for resilience, but I'm not the biggest skeptic for resilience. But the past couple of days have made me realize really that, and I'm kind of borrowing from Chris Benet, that resilience is really a mobilizing metaphor. That's what it seems to me. It's a mobilizing metaphor. What's it mobilizing for? To me, it seems like it's mobilizing for a model of development in the 21st century. It's saying, forget about the divisions of the 20th century. Forget about developing country, less developing country. We've heard lots of examples from Europe, North America, Japan, Australia. Forget about that division. Forget about the division between development and relief. We've heard a lot about that. Forget about static and dynamic. Sometimes contexts are static, sometimes dynamic, sometimes they're both, if that's possible. Forget about economics or environment. We need them both, and we need some politics as well. And forget about just focusing on the community or local government or national government or international. We need them all. So to sustain those divisions seems to me to be increasingly archaic. And bridging is the 21st century mode of working. And if resilience, I think it can help us create the space for that. And I think it can provide some fantastic guidelines for doing development better. So with that, I'd like to thank the panelists, I'd like to thank the audience, I'd like to thank the participants in the panelists' panels. Thank you very much.